Hello. Turn it off. Drop that on my back. Hello everybody, Dan Matichek, the Parrot Pilot here. I wanted to make this short video, hopefully a short video. I'll try to talk fast. If you watched my other videos recently, my Arsenal Delane videos, if you remember the one where I made the mock for the small blue foam glider, it was the first experiment to see if I could even get this designed to fly. I made it in two halves, and I said that I wanted to be able to make a mold out of it. I was working on our limousine here, our store vehicle, and it's going to be a sports theme because tailgating is really big in Pittsburgh, and we love our sports teams, of course. And there's a grill that slides out in the back, motorized, and all kind of crazy stuff. But inside, I wanted to do these lights, and they're going to be clear castings, and they're going to be edge lit, so they kind of glow. And that's going to be the lighting down the sides or the inside of the limo. But I was carving these pieces, and I came up with an idea. It was something that an idea I had a while ago, but it was combined with just a new twist that I thought of while I was doing these pieces. And these are the top carved pieces, and I'm going to be doing actually fiberglass molds of these. And they're plaster, relief carved, and I just spray them with a paint to seal them, and then I make my molds. One of the things I like to do is make things that are multi-purpose, and I like to make things that I like to improve on ideas, techniques that I'm using as much as possible, and keep them, fast, make them faster and better. And cost is a big part of this, because some of these mocks and molds that I do that have to be done in resin, they can be very costly. If I use several gallons of resin at $40 or $50 a gallon, that can really add up, of course. So my idea came from working on these, and then working on the airplanes. I know that some people use wood glue on their foam airplanes to seal them so they can use any kind of paint. And I tried that with very poor results. I really didn't like the way it worked out. For one thing, I discovered that it would bead a lot, and I tried misting on with an airbrush, a lot of different things, and it really wasn't worth my time after a while just to keep experimenting, because I wasn't happy with the results. Once it was on there, it was hard to sand and get it, I was cutting through to the foam on the corners and everything. It really did not work well. So if you saw the video I did on the Arsenal Delane fuselage for the big one that I'm working on, you saw how I stretched cloth over it and put resin on it to kind of fill it in first and give a shell, and then puttied it. Well, my idea was to make the small mold the same way, use the wood glue. Wood glue adds a lot of weight. I find that in my experiments with the paper and fiberglass, with the wood glue on the mud duck. And it shrinks and stretches the skin like a drum, so you have to reinforce it. So what I did was, I took the blue foam and I wrapped it in cloth on the outside. I put it on a piece of wood first, and I stretched it around and spray glued the cloth to the bottom fairly tight. And this is it then. I started brushing it with wood glue, layers and layers. The glue sucked into the cloth, and at first it was really, rough. So I just real quick coarse sanded it by hand after it dried. From that point on, it was pretty fast. I used a water-down glue, 50/50, and brushed on, I'd be working on something here, and I'd have a break, and I'd run it there for like a minute and real quick brush on the glue and sit in front of a fan. So it took basically a day to do this, but it was, a minute or a half a minute at a time. And it came out really smooth with almost no sanding. For this to work, it had to be harder than putty and be able to stand up to machine sanding, because I've been machine sanding for a lot of years, and I'm pretty good at it, and it just, I believe that it's worth the time saved, and then I do very little hand sanding on my pieces. But anyway, this worked really nice. It would not work good for making an airplane, I don't think, because again, the glue adds a lot of weight, but without some type of reinforcements, fiber, from paper fibers or fiberglass, that it really probably would not be suitable for an airplane. But that's it, I guess, and I just wanted to share that with you because I had so many good discoveries when I did this, and it really worked well, and I wanted to share that with you. The other part, the limousine stuff that I'm carving, I'll probably throw that into one of my videos in the future when it's all done, so you can see what I was talking about. Sometimes I don't explain things very well. And I also wanted to mention that in my videos I do a voiceover on a lot of them, and maybe you only have short parts where I actually talk live while I'm taping. And because this was going to be this video here is just, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. Just a side note for my Arsenal Delane. I wanted to explain that I do a lot of, I stutter a lot, I say a lot, and I lose my train of thought often. I try not to, but I have epilepsy, and the medication is, it does a lot of strange things to your brain, but not as bad as having seizures, so, you do what you got to do to get by. But I just wanted to mention that, and I apologize for, I repeat myself a lot, and I forget things sometimes, and so I just wanted to tell you that. And and I almost forgot the other thing. Again, losing my train of thought. Excuse me. These molds are for another experiment. My voice is changing. Another experiment that I had in mind, and I'll show you that when I get to that point. And it's probably nothing new, and but I really try not to look at other people's work, and I've been that way for a long time, but with my custom stuff and with my art. I'll look at other things, but I try not to, because you get influenced by it, and you change it to make it your own. But I really don't. I like to have a clear slate when I start ideas, and not come up with my own ways of doing them. So this next experiment, if it works out, and even if it doesn't, I'll show you. It's I'm sure other people have done it, but I just wanted to try. Maybe I'll come up with a new twist on it. So actually, it's going to be a couple of experiments. So that's it for now, and thanks for watching, and see you later.